Welcome to What's Happening in Miami County. Here's your hosts, Don Smith and Bill Cartwright.
Hello, I'm Don Smith.
And I'm Bill Cartwright. Welcome to What's Happening in Miami County. Today's October 23rd, 2024. And remember to see us, it's Channel 5 at 6 p.m. and regularly scheduled is the second and fourth Wednesdays. And you can also see us on YouTube.
And if you watch Channel 5, JJ's got us on every night at 6 o'clock.
There you go.
So you can find, if you miss it on tonight, then you can always get it at 6
Absolutely.
o'clock any night of the week. So
And,
that's really a good thing
yeah.
too. So I'm really excited about that.
I hear you got something
Well,
sad to do.
yes, I do. I have a sad situation. You know, as you get older, you realize that people die.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, the older I get, the more I think about that, because there's going to be a day
Yes.
that you'll be doing this show by yourself. But not yet. I'm not doing that yet. Here's what we
Oh,
got. I
please
have
don't.
an obituary that I need to read, and I hope you will all accept it as the sad thing that it is. The Pillsbury Doughboy died yesterday of a yeast infection and trauma. Complications from repeated pokes in the belly. He was 75.
Oh.
Doughboy was buried in a lightly greased coffin. Dozens of celebrities turned out to pay their respects, including Mrs. Butterworth, Hungry Jack,
Oh, yeah.
the California Raisins were there, Betty Crocker, Hostess Twinkies,
Yeah.
and of course, the inevitable Captain Crunch. The gravesite was piled high with many flowers. Aunt Jemima delivered the eulogy and loved describing Doughboy as a man who never knew how much he was needed.
Oh.
Born and bred in Minnesota, Doughboy rose quickly in show business, but his later life was filled with turnovers. He was not considered a very smart cookie, wasting much of his dough on half-baked schemes.
Oh.
Despite being a little flaky at times, he still was a crusty old man and was considered a positive role model for millions. Doughboy is survived by his wife, Play-Doh, 3 children, John Doe, Jane Doe, and Dosey Doe. Plus, they had one in the oven as well. So that's sad, you know.
That is sad.
Mrs. Doe's going to have a baby after he's gone. Probably a little roll.
A little roll.
Yeah.
Dough roll.
Yep. He's also survived by his elderly father, Pop-Tart.
Oh.
The funeral was held at 3:50 for 20 minutes. And that's the story, the end of the story
That's
of
so
the
sad.
Doughboy.
That is so sad.
It is sad.
Oh.
And by the way, in case you want to know where that came from, I got it from Doug Stillwell because he read it and I was saddened by it and he gave me a copy.
Yeah.
So we've got that all set.
Oh, well, that's good.
So
That's good.
there you go. We're in a very special place, you know.
Absolutely.
We're at the Apple Tree Gallery.
Yes.
Shirley and Gary Anderson own the Apple Tree Gallery and have done amazing things in our downtown community with their business. Beautiful Christmas items are here. We're in the Halloween section, and I call this the mezzanine. I suppose it used to be the office when it was Penny's.
Yeah.
But look at all of the amazing
It
Halloween stuff that's here. And so I'm really excited that they allowed us to do this taping in the store on the mezzanine.
Yes, because I can remember coming in here when it was
Penny's.
JC Penny's, yes. And it was always fun to come in here. And they just have it decked out so nice for Halloween. And it's amazing, some of this stuff.
And we may have to come back for Christmas because we could do a whole Christmas show in here too.
That's true. That's true.
it's
They have
really-
a lot of Christmas stuff out right now.
It's really a great place to be, and I'm really pleased that we're here and that they allowed us to come in
and do it.
be a part of this. So,
Absolutely.
So do you have a Halloween remembrance from your
yes,
youth?
this is our Halloween
Can you remember
show.
that far?
I vaguely, literally. No, I always used to come in. We lived out in the country, and I used to come into Piqua to a friend's house, and we'd go trick or treating around, and I would, get the candy, and you'd get all excited, and we'd have a good time just going around. And then when I would get home, I would give about 3/4 of my candy away. Because
And you didn't know me then.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're doing all right on your own. Anyway, but yeah, it's I just didn't care for the sweets that much. So there was certain ones that I liked, but other than that, I just would give it away, or it would just sit there and go bad. So, but
sad.
that is sad. But but I still had a really good time. And we did, crazy things, running around and playing pranks and that kind of stuff.
Well, I dressed up one time, and my mom had bought me a special outfit, and I looked hot. I was walking down the street with this mask on, it was a big black mask, and I was sweating under the mask, and it was getting all moist under there. It was kind of yucky, but I was getting candy, so I wasn't going to stop. And so we get home, and I take off the mask, and my mom looks at me, and she peed her pants.
Oh, no.
Because my face was all black. The whole mask came off on my face.
And stayed on your face.
And stayed on my face. So that was not the best thing. She laughed about that until her last days, because it was one of those things that was just a little on the weird side.
Right, yeah.
So anyway, what you got going on?
Oh, well, we had, the other week we went to a Zach Williams concert. I don't know if too many people are familiar with him, but he's a Christian artist. And he was down at Hobart Arena, and I'll tell you what, we had a wonderful time. There's something special about that many people there worshiping the Lord. It really was a special time. And also Cain was there, another Christian group. But yeah, it was a good time. And then of course, it's fall, so you've got stuff to clear off in the yard and all that kind of stuff. So I've got most all of that done, so I'll be good. And then of course I've working at Bethany and all that. So
Well,
what you been doing?
Well, there's a lot going on. My granddaughter lives in Reno,
Yep.
and she came to visit.
Yep.
And she spent 4 days with us at our house, and that was really a nice
It
thing, because
was-
we haven't seen her for a couple years.
I was going to say, it was so good to see her.
Yeah, you got to see her too, and
Yep.
they got married just a few years ago, and they're just the happiest two people in the whole world. And they had been to New York City; he had never been there before. It was a big deal. They were all having a good time. Then we had a Piqua Caldwell Historic District board meeting, where we talked about the upcoming annual meeting, which is, by the way, coming up here real soon on Thursday, the day after our program today.
Was that a good time?
Which one?
The meeting.
The meeting wasn't a good time. It was planning for this event that's coming
okay.
up, and that's a big deal for us, because we really try to let the entire district know what we're doing
on.
and that's good. And I was at Bethany as usual also, and then we all got invited to ride in a horse-drawn wagon.
Yes, we did. That was
around
fun.
through a field and all around, and had some really good treats and snacks, and that was a really nice event that we
Good
got
homemade
to.
ice cream.
Yes, it was. It was a nice event to do,
Yeah.
and we had a good time doing it. So that was good.
Absolutely.
And then we came down, the whole family, because we had the granddaughter here, and Jamie, our daughter, and all the significance and everything. We all came down to Piqua Main Street, because Main Street, Piqua was having their Downtown Fall Harvest Festival.
Yep.
And that was really a nice event. And I did one thing that was really stupid.
Just one?
Oh, well, that at that time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was walking along, we looked at everything, and as we get ready to leave, right there by Hallmark, there was this pumpkin patch all laid out by the Kiwanis, And they said, if you bring a canned good, you can have a pumpkin. So my wife brought a canned good and gave it to him. But guess who had to carry the pumpkin? And she said, well, you pick one out. Well, I picked out the biggest one, and that was not smart, because I had to walk all the way home with this big old pumpkin. And by the time I got 2/3 of the way, I thought I was going to have to sit down and do a rest stop. because it was pretty heavy. But now it's on our porch, so it's
I
all
hope
good.
you did that the last thing.
Oh yeah,
on the
just
way, I was
just
gonna
on the
say.
way home. And but the bad news of that was I had just had a coney dog at Tom's over at
Oh,
the
yeah.
ice cream store, and so I had that in there, and then the pumpkin right up against it. It wasn't pretty, but anyway, we got past it, and that's all good. And
It's
then
all good.
we had the haunted tour, and by the way, we have a special guest, two
Yes.
special guests today that we're really excited to have
Yes.
be a part of our program, and they were also a part of the Piqua Cobalt District haunted tour. We had 2 evenings of tours, 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30, and 9 o'clock, and they were extremely well received. We were sold out,
Wonderful.
and we actually had an apparition occur in one of the places during the tour. And by the way, we didn't set up anything. This was real.
Okay.
Yeah, and so our special guests are going to talk about apparitions and some of the cool stuff that they do,
Yeah.
and we're going to be on that. So that's basically what I've been doing.
Okay.
And so what do we got to do next? So let's just look at our papers here.
Upcoming.
Oh, events.
Yes.
You get to do some events.
Yes,
That's a
I
good
have.
thing.
So I'll do the first half here.
Okay.
Okay, so I've been pushing this the last couple programs, but this will be the last time because it's going to happen. November 9th, beginning at 11:30 a.m. until the meals are gone, the Fields of Grace Worship Center, in conjunction with the Covington Eagles, is giving a free Friendsgiving dinner. And so there's going to be at least 1,000 meals that will be available for pickup or home delivery. They will do home delivery. So, and it's like shredded smoked pork sandwiches, cheesy potatoes, green beans, applesauce, and a chocolate chip cookie. That sounds pretty good to me. Anyway, the meals will be distributed from the Covington Elementary School, located at 807 Chestnut Street. But if you would like a meal delivered, then you need to call Fields of Grace at 937-573-4282 to receive a home delivery. And sign up began on October 1st, and it lasts until October 31st. So you just have a few more days to get that done. So it should be a lot of very good meal, and it always goes over really well. And then we have a RIP, which I'm assuming means rest in peace, run 5K.
But if I ran, it would be rest in peace.
Yeah, I know. I would have the same issue. But it's to celebrate spooky season with a 5K through the cemetery and a costume contest. And the run is in Piqua, 5K run walk through Forest Hill Cemetery, October 26th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. And there's an entry fee, pre-registration by October 20th, which I know it's over, but and let's see, it's that registration, pre-registered via mail or online. And you can contact, get more information for at Can't Stop Running Company, co.com. And same day registration begins at 4 p.m. So you can still do that. So that'll be, and then there's a Boo Bash at Hayner's Cultural Center. It's a family event that includes games, crafts, refreshments, kid-friendly ghost stories. Children who complete a ghostly list of activities can earn a prize, so that'll be fun. It's for the entire family, and it's welcome, and it's free. It's a free public event at the Troy Hayner Cultural Center in 301 West Main Street, Troy. That should be a lot of fun for kids too. And then we have a haunted woods at Bruckner Nature Center. And if you've never been to Bruckner Nature Center, it's a pretty cool place.
It's really cool.
It's really nice. But anyway, it's that's on 5995 Horseshoe Bend Road. It's a kid-friendly evening filled with guided walks, live animals, and costume characters. Your guide will lead you along the gently rolling luminary lit trail and stop at 6 stations along the way so you and your family can learn all about the wild creatures of the night. Bring flashlights. Say all tickets must be purchased prior to the event by calling this number, 937-698-6493, or emailing info@brucknernaturecenter.com. So that sounds like it's going to be a really, really fun evening. Cost of the tickets are $5 per person. And like I said, that's October 26th, so you need to get on it because it's coming up. And then the Holiday Craft Show at Miami County Fairgrounds. This is November 2nd, and it's join us for the day of shopping, food trucks, homemade, locally sourced clothing, baked goods, knickknacks, ornaments, crafts, direct sales, and so much more. So that's a free thing. That should be fun. Get in the mood for the holidays. And then also Crooked Handle here in Piqua is having a holiday farm to table. Experience the best local flavors at Crooked Handle Brewing Company, upcoming holiday farm to table dinner. So that should be a lot of fun also. And like I said, that's November 14th, 6 to 10 p.m. at the Crooked Handle, 123 North Main Street, Piqua, Ohio. And
They've been really active.
They have.
They had a big old thing last weekend, German thing.
Yes,
They've
they
just
did.
been really keeping busy down there.
Yes. And I have more events for a little later, but remember, you can always find out what's happening in Miami County by going to Homegrown Miami County website, and that'll be on the screen at the end of the show. So.
Well, I'm getting a little nervous because we've got this witch kind of watching us.
Which witch?
Well, the witch over there. See, she's
yeah.
hiding over there behind that tree.
I see it.
Making me a little nervous. So I think what we need to do is break for a minute because I need to get it together
Yes.
before we move on to our special guests that we're looking forward to having on the show.
Yes,
So,
I can't wait.
so we're going to break now just for a moment to reset so that we can come back to you.
Okay.
Boy, I'm scared already.
I know.
Look at that.
Oh, they look good.
Oh, he's got chains. Look, those chains. Oh, my.
Boy.
Oh, and I wonder if he's in mourning. He has a mourning scarf over his face.
I don't
Either
know.
that or he looks ugly. One of the two has to be covered.
Well, we're excited to have you here today, and we've got Monty and Penny Mueller here visiting us, and they were the ones that did the haunted tour here in Piqua. And Penny, I just wanted to ask you, what was the most exciting observation that you had in preparation for the tour?
Preparation probably was just the anticipation of the people and the questions. And the best part was when we got out of the car and had to walk a couple blocks to get to where we were.
Oh, yeah?
Got a lot of looks from the traffic.
I'll bet you did. You were dressed
So that
like
was kind
this.
of fun. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
All right.
attire.
And I know these people, and I didn't that day. They were looking.
That was fun.
Poor Monty, he's got his face all covered up because he's not that good looking.
Oh, yes, it is. Don't say that.
So, Monty, how do you go about this whole investigation thing? There's a lot of people out there who are skeptics. So can you tell us how you really go about this whole thing?
I sure can, Don. What we do is we use K2 meters, which is, if anybody's familiar with these. We also use recorders. We use voice boxes. We use a lot of different paranormal equipment. But I'm a pretty basic guy. I usually just use a K2 meter and ask a series of questions. And if it goes completely to the red on the K2 meter, I figure like they are giving me the yes on the answer.
Oh, that's kind of exciting.
It is. Have you
It
had
is.
any yeses?
Tons of them.
Have you
Tons
really?
of them.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
I have.
What's the most unique episode that you've had?
Well, there's been some that, of course, we don't discuss. Some that we don't disclose the people or the place that it's at unless
Totally
we
understand.
we
Yep.
get their permission. There's some that was very traumatic, but I think the best ones is the ones that's fun ones, and also some of the best ones, Bill, I think, if we've helped that person. I've even had a person, I've helped a person go towards the light. I've had a person pass on, so I think that was
Oh, that's-
grateful to the
yeah.
wife that asked me to do that.
So, both of you, how did you get into this hobby? It's an unusual hobby, I think. I don't know anybody but the two of you plus Anna.
That's true. Anna kind of asked Monty first. I think he kind of went ahead of me, and we were both skeptics actually, and he got on into it, and he came back after a couple visits, a couple investigations, and he says, "You got to come with me. Come with me on the next one." And I'm like, "Okay." So I went.
The dutiful wife.
I went, and I was hooked. I was hooked because there's things I can't explain. There's when we go to investigations, I can look at it. Let's say we're doing your house, Bill, and we pull up, and numbers will just come to my head. 2, 3 numbers will come to my head, and after the investigation, 4 or 5 hours, we're investigating your home. Somehow, in that 9 times out of 10, those numbers come up somehow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my sense of smell is different. Can't explain that. A couple places we could talk about too if we have time. That my hair's been pulled. I've been tapped on the shoulder. Yeah, I'm a
Not
believer.
by him either, right?
Not by him. Not by him.
That is correct, and I also was one of the biggest skeptics that there is out there. I didn't believe in any of this. Matter of fact, when I started to do this, I thought, I'm going to prove them wrong. But once I got into it, the more that I got answers for things spiritual things around me, like on my recordings, on my K2 meters, I now have proof, and I totally believe in the spirits is around us all the time.
Well, I kind of agree with you in a lot of ways, because when we were back at Alston Manor years ago, the closet would be completely empty. There would just be metal hangers hanging, and all of a sudden they would jingle. And they were the part of a closet of a person who passed away at the house there. And so it was kind of disconcerting in the beginning, because you're just not quite sure what. But
to think.
a lot of times they're friendly apparitions that you have.
That is correct.
We got to mention Anna Baumeister, though, because Anna is kind of a leader in the movement, or to do these sorts of things. And I know she brought the two of you in, and she was the three of you then helped us on the Caldwell District thing. And our audiences, all the people that went on that tour, just really appreciated what you all put into it, and I know we did too in the district. So it was a fun thing. But you talked, Monty, on the tour, and I don't know if you can say that on here, but on the tour you talked about playing ball. And I thought that was a really cool story. Can
That
you
is
tell
correct. I went to a certain area 3 times because I was so interested in my session that I was having. And there again, I used voice recordings. I used a K2 meter. And on a 3rd floor in a certain area, I connected with a little boy. He was 5 years old. He was hiding in a closet. He was abused by his mother.
Now, did you see all that?
No,
or
I
did
didn't.
you just know of it?
No, I did not see. I have seen different stick figures, different shadows, but in this instance, no, I did not see any of it. But from a series of questions, a process of elimination, I did ask about this little boy, and I got a lot of answers from it. Some people tell me that if they don't believe in this, they think that you pass on right away. And I do believe there is some people that do pass on right away. That's why I don't think I've ever connected with my mother. But I think there is some spirits out there that still feel like they have things they need to do while they're still on earth, that they want to.
Unfinished business.
Right, the unfinished business, and they don't pass on right away.
Right.
I'm really hoping I don't pass on right away, tell you the
I
truth.
don't plan on it.
Oh my!
Just beware.
Does that mean if you go first? Does that mean if you go first, I'm going to have you in my house?
Possibly.
You never,
Possibly.
you never
Well, I'll
know.
have to
You
wear
never
clothes
know.
in the shower now.
I have no
Please
comment on
do.
air about that, so we'll move on.
So Don said earlier that they had an apparition appear on this
I
haunted
didn't get
tour.
the whole story. I just got parts of it because we were still running
You
around.
were walking, but
Yeah.
I was at the end, and this gentleman walked out of the Morrow house, and his eyes were like huge, because he
Wow.
was standing in the house, and a door, I won't say flew open, but came open and bumped him.
And it was a locked.
And it was a
cupboard.
locked door.
I did know
and
that.
the owner of the house said that door was locked. And then there was a feeling of arms around one of the women that was in there. And this all happened at the same tour, the same group.
Sure.
And they were, if they hadn't been believers before, when they walked out of that house, they were. And then I went on the tour, and they told us about smells. And I could smell cigar smoke, and you know they don't smoke cigars.
That's prevalent in a lot of people with the smell.
Yeah. Cigars and lavender. There was a woman who liked lavender cologne, and the lavender lingers. Now I didn't smell lavender, but I did smell cigar smoke. And then they had some actual. Well, I think you helped them to have the orbs actually show on a screen.
Yeah. We investigated the home earlier, and I went into the area of the basement that they showed on that night, and I went with just my cell phone, and it was an area where the furnace was in there. It's kind of a dirt concrete floor, but I asked her where, and it was a doctor at the time, the only doctor in the area, 1800s I believe, that had to amputate. So I suppose some of the body parts was in this area, and she was telling me this. As we walked down, I didn't even go in there. I just stood with my phone.
Yeah, because some people, they'd say, oh, that's just dust. But
Because dust particles will,
you rule out everything.
You can
And then
tell-
once you rule out all the possibilities,
and you can
there
tell
is no
dust
other
is,
answer than being energy that's around
absolutely.
us. And there were so many solid orbs in this area.
And they were shooting.
and the
across.
orbs will go
Exactly,
everywhere,
exactly.
where dust kind of goes like
There,
this.
there was
you
no
know.
way it was just dust.
We had big orbs. One
Yeah.
just came right through me. I mean, if it was on video that night, you would hear me say, "Anna, oh my gosh, you've got to come see this." I mean, I just talked the whole time, but it was muted, of course, which is why. But there were hundreds.
And I know that at our house, my granddaughter actually saw a lady who had been a maid in the house, and she came down to Grandma and she says, "Do you have a maid, Grandma? I didn't know you had a maid." Well, we don't have a maid, but she saw her, described her specifically, and what room she went into, which happened to be the maid's quarter. And we found out later who had her as a maid, and she's at our house. And we do have, we had a neighbor see her walk by her windows. They just happened to look over at the house, and she was in the house, and she was walking. So that I do believe. So
Well, the first time I investigated your house, Don, I also saw the maid. So, you know, there's more than one person that has seen that maid at the top of that staircase, you know, on the back staircase. So,
And apparently, she loved her job.
I hope so.
You know, I mean,
but it was a friendly
Yeah.
friend.
And
She's
then we had the
friendly.
cat disappear.
Yes,
still don't
we
know.
did.
And
Yes,
this, by
we
the way,
did.
for those of you who are watching, this was not a live cat. This was a ceramic antique cat that I had bought at an auction of a house directly across the street. I kind of feel like it may have gone home. The house
Very
is
possible.
The house is empty now.
Very
and
possible.
when someone comes to the house, I'm going to go see if my cat's over there.
Please do.
'Cause we
And
definitely
let us
want-
know.
that
We
would
want
be
to
Yeah,
wild.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And
that
when-
would be wild.
and when Don first told me that, a number 2 came to my mind. So I'm thinking second floor. So
Could be second floor at the other house.
and it could be, but that number 2 was just whoop right here in front of my face.
Isn't that amazing?
It's really an interesting thing. Well, do you have anything else you can share with us, or should we?
I'd like to share one more thing
Okay.
about, we shared this a lot on the tour, was when new owners or old owners even renovate their homes. Spirits just, they don't like it. You know, they get comfortable just like we do in our lazy boy chairs, right? So whenever new owners come in and renovate, they stir that up. So, and not in a bad way, but they might have some things, noises, moving things or doors shutting, until they get like, okay, we're just going to show them until they get comfortable and the renovating's finished, and then it usually stops. But that's,
Do they ever go away?
I don't think they ever go away.
No, I don't think
That's
that.
their home, and whoever lives there, they just got to put up with a little bit of their
Action.
little mischievous, their mischievousness until they get
We've
finished.
actually had 3 things disappear, but the cat is the one that really bothers me because I know right where it was all the time, and all of a sudden it wasn't there. And I've asked everybody in the family, and people have come in, nobody knows, and it's just gone. So that was an interesting.
And you
thing.
want that person to stay there. You don't want it to become an attachment to you. You don't want it to come home with you, whether good or bad. That person needs to stay there
So when
because they're there for a reason.
So when
Yes,
we move
yes,
from
they
the
are good.
house,
Yeah.
The maid.
we
the
don't
maid
want
will
her
stay
coming
there.
to our new house wherever we go.
And she'll probably stay there.
I would say she would probably stay there because she's so comfortable there.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Well, and for those of you who don't know, Penny is the witch of the. I had that written down. You had a specific witch you wanted to be
Of the north.
of the North, witch of the North, because that's the happy witch. Is that
That's,
right?
well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say
Folklore.
Wizard of Oz on air, but that's Glenda. I can be her sister.
Well, good.
People who know me in Wizard of
Well,
Oz.
we are really glad that the two of you took time today
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
got all dressed up one more time to be a part of our
Well,
program.
thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
It was a great thing to have you
pleasure.
here.
It's a lot of
We
fun to talk
really
about
appreciate
it.
Yes.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you.
I have to thank them again for all of the great things
it
they
was-
did
it was
over past
wonderful.
weekend and then coming here,
Yeah.
dressing up one more time and giving us all that
And
special
it's so
information.
interesting. I mean, it's amazing some of the stuff that they've seen and done. It's
And there
really,
are so many more stories
Oh,
that we
yes.
could have spent an hour just talking on those things
Absolutely,
that they've done.
yeah.
And for those of you who are skeptics, sometime take a tour, and you'll hear some of those things that are just unexplainable any other way. But
Yep.
Penny likes to be the good witch of the North and all that.
Yes.
And so I want to give a little shout out. This card is an antique postcard
Yeah.
made into a greeting card that you can use. And these are available at the Apple Tree Gallery. And I bought this one because a friend of mine always dressed up like a witch at Halloween and would stand on her porch and yip out like a witch and do all that. And she now lives
Hand out candy.
and hand out candy. Now she lives in Nashville. So I'm going to send this card to her. But aren't they cool?
Yeah, they are.
That's one of the things they have at Apple Tree Gallery. And they also do
beautiful.
the same thing. They recreate Christmas cards too to sell,
Oh, nice.
which I think is really a nice thing. So I wanted
Yeah,
to do
that
that.
is.
You got any more activities that we can
Yes,
talk about?
yes, I do have a few. I'm going to go through them as quick as I can here. Downtown Piqua, Horse Parade. That's coming up Saturday, November 9th at 7 p.m. And so it's horse-drawn carriages. I saw it last year for the first time. It's amazing. It really is. All these beautiful horses and the wagons.
Films for the Indian Nation Station too, there, Bill.
Yeah, okay.
That's good because it's really
It's
interesting.
really
And they
interesting.
decorate them with lights,
Oh, yeah,
and,
oh, yeah.
music, all kinds of stuff.
It's
And those
just-
horses just strut.
They do. They're just
Really cool.
gorgeous. They're beautiful. And then also, I'm going to go ahead and go over some things that are coming up in December because things are really happening fast now, and a lot of things are going on. So Christmas on the Green is there again. It's here in Piqua, December 6th, 6 to 9 p.m. And that's community caroling, horse-drawn carriages, rides, children's activities, live entertainment, and makes this a family-oriented holiday celebration, a must-do on many calendars. So stop down, get in the spirit of Christmas. And then also in downtown holiday parade in Piqua. That's Saturday, December 7th at 2 p.m. Now I can remember coming downtown when I was just a little kid, and I'll tell you what, that was the highlight of Christmas. You knew Christmas had started and was on its way because of that parade. It was just always a lot of fun.
And Santa Claus was
And
always riding
Santa-
on the
yes.
ladder truck.
That's right.
And
he
we
was.
finally got a new ladder truck in Piqua, so he can
So
do it again if
Maybe
he wants
he'll
to.
do it again. Yeah, you never know. So come on down and check that out. And then there's also the Holly Jolly 5K and 10K run. Again, I probably won't be participating, but that's Saturday, December 14th. Registrations at 9 a.m. So just come on down here in Piqua. It's a beautiful Piqua path. It says downtown registration, and it's on at mainstreetpiqua.com. And also you can get more information on can'tstoprunning.co.com. So that'll be fun if you're into running. I'm not, so but
Well, that's for the younger crowd.
Well, it is.
Although I just saw a story on TV about this 80-year-old woman who was running in a race. I was
Yes.
like, more power to her.
That's right. Yeah, a lot more power to her. And then, of course, Hometown Holiday in Troy, Ohio. That's Hometown Holiday Shopping, local weekend. That's November 8th through the 10th. Local businesses citywide have a weekend of holiday cheer ready for you, as they will have stores ready for the holiday season. So there again, if you want to get in the holiday spirit, that's the place to go. And then we have another Piqua Caldwell Historic District historic holiday house tours coming up on December 14th. So these are events that you maybe need to put on your calendar so that you'll remember that they're coming up. Don, can you address
Well,
that?
yes, we have a good number of houses, and the tours are from 5 to 8 o'clock, and we also do illuminate the night, which means when the weather permits, we put out white bags
Luminaries.
with candles, and
Yeah, luminaries,
it's
I
really
think
a
they're called.
beautiful walk around the historic district. And we have one church on the tour this year.
Oh, nice.
We've been featuring a church or two each year to make sure that we get all the churches in the district
Nice.
listed, because they all are historic buildings.
They are.
And so it's going to be a great thing, and that comes up on the 14th of December, and will be a really good thing to do.
Yep. Okay, and then something that's near and dear to Don and I's heart.
Both of us are working on
Yes,
this
and
one.
we're working on this one. So, but it's the 11th annual Holiday Cabaret put on by the Friends of the Piqua Library. It's going to be November 24th, and we're going to have at the ballroom. It's at the ballroom of the Fort Piqua Plaza, and the tickets are like $50 each with reserved seating. And we're going to be featuring this year the Miami Valley Symphony Orchestra, and if you've ever heard them, they're fantastic.
They're really good. They did a program for us last year, and
Yeah.
they had a special soloist come, and it was
Yes.
just put you in the mood for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
That's all
it
I
was
can
really
say
great.
about it.
And another special guest appearance by the Piqua High School Show Choir, which that ought to be fun to see them and all the youth and all that energy. That'll be great. But like I say, tickets go on sale. Let's see, Friends of the Piqua 10 a.m. to noon, and to the public from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and that starts on November 2nd. So mark your calendars. We'll try to have this announced again on the next show, but it's always a fun event. It's really gets you in the holiday spirit, and we always have a good time. There'll be hors d'oeuvres and a bar available.
Cash,
also.
wine, and beer. Yep.
Not necessarily.
Oh, not necessarily. Okay. Well, that's good.
That's in the works.
In the works. Well, it's really a good thing, and just make sure you mark your calendar for it. And it's going to be an amazing event, like it always has been
always
in the
has
past.
been, yeah. And it's just a lot of fun.
And Ruth Kuhn chairs that for the Friends of the Piqua Library.
Yes.
And if you are not a friend of the Piqua Library, you should become
You
one.
should become one.
Because then that way you get the first chance to buy the tickets.
Plus, you help out. You really do help out the Piqua Library.
Yep.
It's a wonderful place.
Beautiful place too.
Yes.
So, last show we cooked. Well,
Yes,
we
we
didn't
did.
cook, but Joyce cooked.
Well, Joyce cooked.
Joyce
Yeah.
Jenkins was a cook. And you know what?
What?
I've made that twice.
Have you really?
Since that show, I've made it 2 different
Apple?
times. Yep, I made it with
Always
apple.
apple?
I
Okay.
but I did a twist.
Oh, did you?
Because we're in the fall time, so I put pumpkin pie spice in there. So it was a
Ooh.
little bit more apple, spicy,
Yeah,
kind of pumpkin
that'd be
flavoring.
good.
It
That'd be
really
good.
turned out, I think, very nice.
Yes,
so
that was a fun show.
she's good, and that
Yeah.
recipe is so easy.
Easy, yeah.
And you can use it for so many different things. I've got some Halloween trivia. Are you
Oh,
ready? Halloween
wonderful.
trivia. That's uncommon, I have never looked up Halloween before for the purpose of trivia, but I've got some. You know what the most popular candy is?
Let's see.
If you were
The corn things.
Oh, the corn candy.
Yeah.
I hate that stuff.
I do
Personally,
too.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
But my wife thinks it's really good. She
don't
can have
like
all of it she wants. We have a bowl of it at our house every year because
Candy corn too. What's wrong with you people?
you like
Oh,
candy.
yeah.
Oh
My
my!
wife thinks it's weird,
AJ
too.
likes candy corn, but then that's part of his
That's-
problem.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, the real truth is, my wife, when the kids used to do their trick or treating, you know
She'd
what she
steal
would
the
do?
candy.
She stole the Reese cups. Because she would hide the Reese cups in another location because that was
That
her,
was her
thing.
thing,
And she
yeah.
didn't think the kids ought to have that much chocolate. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So she used to do that. But by the way, the Reese cup is the number one candy.
Is it really?
Yep. The
Oh,
Halloween
wow.
number one Halloween candy is Reese peanut butter cups.
That's amazing.
So that's pretty cool. You know, we had that obituary a little earlier on.
Yeah,
Well, there
poor
was a
thing.
gentleman.
It was so sad.
I know it. It was sad because you know the doughboy. Oh boy. Well,
He's been around.
He's
Yeah.
been a while. Well,
It's okay.
He had his turn.
I'll
So-
start crying again. Don't bring it up.
Well, guess who else died on Halloween in 1926? A very famous person died on Halloween, 1926, and it, you know,
it Houdini?
Yes, it was Houdini.
Oh, my
you
God.
got it right, and I.
And you had it covered. So
I know, I
didn't
hit it
cheat.
so you could-
I didn't cheat.
He was 52.
I
when
do
he died.
remember that he
was
he
sad.
died on. Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, it was probably some poltergeist that got him. I don't know. No, he actually died.
No,
from
somebody
I think it was
punched him in
pneumonia.
the gut
I think it was pneumonia back then.
Yeah, and then
He probably would have lived if he'd had that today.
could have been.
We use pumpkins for decorations. What was used before pumpkins in the past, in the early past? What did
Squash?
they use for decorations? That's an now that's a good idea. They didn't have it, but it's a good idea. It's not their idea.
Well, I get what is pumpkins part of the squash family?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Never
I would
mind.
have, I would have still counted that because it's a different
Oh,
kind.
yeah, it is
you
a
know.
different kind.
It's
of,
not orange
Right.
like the other. Well, some of those squash are orange too.
Yeah.
But no, that's not the case. And you can't believe this. I can't even believe it. They used turnips
turnips.
and potatoes. Those were the two things that were used to carve prior to pumpkins. I think somebody got really smart and said, let's stop this crap and come up with something
Yeah.
really cool.
Let's eat the potatoes
Eat the potatoes
and the turnips.
and we don't care that much for the squash, so let's carve it out. But one of the presidents of our United States, you know, was giving a tour of the White House. And as he was giving the tour for these little kids, he said, you know, the White House is haunted. And they were like, oh my, that's impressive. Who haunts the White House? Well, actually, I found out there are several people that haunt the White House, but he was talking about President Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
He says that Lincoln still appears in the Lincoln bedroom periodically, and that several people, not just President George H.W. Bush, who's told the story, but others have also had that happen, and they've seen President
Amazing.
Lincoln. I know. And then you got Abigail Adams. Her ghost hangs out in the East Room.
Okay.
They've seen her in the East Room, and you know, when she was alive, she used to hang her laundry in there, and sometimes they can smell that the lavender
clothes,
well,
yeah.
the lavender detergent that she
Oh,
used to do
okay.
the laundry, because you know we talked a minute ago
Right.
with them about smells.
Smells, yeah.
And I smelled that cigar smoke in that one house,
Yeah.
and they don't smoke, so that was kind of scary. But those are all things that I think are interesting. They've all been pretty well accepted as true stories, and I thought that was kind of neat. Then I got this out. This is one of our decorations at my house. Do you have anything like this? This little thing used to put candy in there. This is as old as I am, because I got this.
Wow, that's ancient.
Well, I know. I got this when I was a little bitty kid, and I've had it ever since, and I really like it, and it probably cost 10 cents at the dime store, and if you'd have bought it then, it's worth a whole lot more. Now it's worth about, they said downstairs, about $30, $35.
Oh, wow,
And
yeah.
I won't sell it for that. But you get me
Oh, no,
up.
sentimental reasons,
It's
yeah.
sentimental up to about 50. If I could get, if I could get 50 or more.
There's always a price. Right?
Yeah, I can swallow the sentiment if that's
Yeah.
the case. And then we got this. They sell these here, And I think this is cool because we had an orange one of these at our house, and this little paper stuff that's in the face,
Yeah.
because you put a candle down in there and it glows.
It glows.
Yeah. Well, my stuff in the face came out.
Came out.
I didn't have that anymore. But ours was orange. I think that's a cool thing too to have. It's just something different, and this is made of paper mache,
yeah.
like they were back in the day. So that's
If you're really handy, you can make your own.
well, yeah, you couldn't you? Well, we won't be doing that at my house, but
We
that's
won't be
okay.
doing it in my house either.
Well, your wife's handy. She might do
Well,
that.
she is, but I don't
She
think
might do
she'd
that.
want to do that.
So anyway, we're about to wrap up, but I do have some. Oh, I got birthdays.
Birthdays. I don't have any birthdays.
Should I
for
get?
you.
Oh, thank you so much for that. too.
You're welcome.
Should I get the bell out? I got the bell
No.
down here.
I mean, I won't get the answer, but
I'll make a spooky sound if you
yeah.
guys are wrong.
Oh, who's doing the spook? You are you?
I'll do it on post.
Oh,
I'll do it on post.
AJ's going to be the spook. Well, AJ's kind of spooky anyway. If you get to know him, once you get to know him, he's a little spooky. But anyway, I remember this guy, Michael Landon,
Yes.
Bonanza.
Little House on the Prairie.
Oh yeah, and Bonanza.
Oh,
I think I
absolutely.
like Bonanza. Little House on the Prairie.
I like Bonanza better too, because what was their last name? Cartwright.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Cartwrights, and there
I
was
like
there
that.
was Haas
Haas. Yep. That was my nickname in high school.
and Michael. What was his name? I don't know what his name was on the program.
I
But
don't know.
but the sad news about him is he died young.
Yeah, fairly
He
young.
was fairly young. He was born in 1936, and he died when he was 54 years old. So that's kind of sad.
Yeah. Haas died fairly young too.
Yes,
I think.
even younger, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe there was apparitions at the
he was a football
at the
player.
Ponderosa.
I don't know.
But today he would be 88 if Mr. Landon
Okay,
was still
okay.
alive, and he could still be out there walking around if he hadn't died.
Yeah.
So then you got Dan Rather. Dan Rather was born on Halloween too,
Oh,
and he
wow.
was born in 1931, which makes him. And I thought he was dead. He's not.
Oh, he's still around.
Yeah, he's still around.
He had a was it a YouTube show or something,
Well,
or some show that he was doing, interviewing people. So
well, my research says his last show was in April this last April.
this last April. Yeah.
He was a newscaster, of course, and he is 93.
Wow.
So there's a lot of hope for us. We can just do this for
Yeah.
another. Oh my goodness, let's not think about that right now.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert Von Winkle. Robert Von Winkle. Now I
Is
wouldn't
that
have known.
Rip Van Winkle?
No, but it's Robert. Might have been his brother. I don't know.
Might have been.
But Robert Van Winkle is someone that everybody will know by his nickname, but they don't know him by Robert Van Winkle. Now, AJ, you should know this because he's in your age range. He was born in 1967, and
My age range.
well, but you would have. But remember, he was
You're
born
not
in
even
'67, but he was popular a number of years after that. It was actor. He was the first white rapper,
Eminem.
Vanilla Ice.
Oh, Vanilla Ice.
Oh, Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
I always forget about Vanilla Ice.
well,
do too.
most people do, but
My dad's favorite song, Ice Ice Baby.
oh, is it really? That was one of his. That was one of his biggies. But he was he was also a television talk show host, and he was an actor, and he was, of course, the rapper. His big fame was the rap because
Rap, yeah.
he started first white guy to do that. Because most of us white people aren't capable. I'm not capable of rapping. Can you rap?
No.
Well, good.
It's
That
not-
makes two of us.
Even if I could, I don't think I would.
No, it's not my kind of music.
No, it isn't
I
mine
like
either.
soft music, like Sound of Music or something. So anyway, guess who else was born? And she's still on TV, Jane Pauley.
Oh, wow.
She was born 1950 on Halloween. And these are, by the way, Halloween birthdays, which means the 31st October, not on our daily program. Because I thought it was interesting to see who was born on Halloween. And she's
makes her
74
70.
years
Yeah.
old today. And she's, of course, Sunday morning television program. Sometimes she's there. She wasn't there this week because I watched it and she wasn't
I
there.
was born 1 year before her.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. If you didn't have a wife, you could go check her out,
No.
date her.
Not Jane Pauley.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, she got nice clothes. The next one is Jada Pinkett Smith.
Smith, yes.
You know her?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, she was born. This is for you young people. She was born in 2000.
Yep.
So she's not very old at all. She's only 24.
It's
What is she?
Her
Do you
husband,
remember?
she's an actress. Her husband caused a big stink at the Oscars.
Oh
He
yeah.
went up and slapped somebody.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Jada's not 24. Jada's Will Smith's wife.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Jada. Is
Well,
like-
she's 24.
Jada Pinkett,
According to what I looked at,
She is.
she's
like-
24 and she's a singer,
No.
model, and daughter of Will
That's
Smith.
the daughter.
Oh,
that-
the daughter.
I didn't
See?
know if the daughter had
Well,
Jada's
what-
same name.
Well,
Must
da-
have had the same name.
well, see? Daughter of Will Smith.
Yeah.
Singer, model, 24 years old, born in 2000.
Yeah, I knew he had
Yeah.
a daughter and son. It was young,
Yeah,
but I didn't
yeah, but I didn't
his
re-
wife-
Well, now we've straightened AJ
Same
out.
name. Yeah.
I
Well,
wanted to
and
make
me.
Sure Bill didn't get himself
Yeah, I was
in
gonna
trouble
say,
there.
me
He's
too.
talking about Will Smith dating a 24-year-old.
Well, that's not all that uncommon either, you know.
No, it isn't.
Well, the last one I've got is John Candy, and of course he was a funny guy.
Oh, yeah.
A really great comedian.
Died way before he
Well,
should have.
died before he should have. He was 74 though, so that's a little older. Born in 1950 also. So he and Jane Pauley could have been cohorts, you know.
Yeah.
They were born at about the same time on the same day. So, but he was a comedian. He died when he was 44 years old in 1994. So those are the birthdays that I have. And if you've got anything else to talk about, we can do it. Otherwise,
The only thing I have is remember our next show will be November 6th after this one. So be sure you're there.
oh, it's
and
going to be
watching,
good because
and it's going to be good. We'll have a new president.
and we'll ha-
Somebody.
oh my gosh, we'll have.
I won't be in the country.
So
I'll be-
I've got a new co-host who's going to show up and look a lot better than we do. But anyway, we're going to be on a location also. If everything works out like we plan it, we're going to be cooking over a stone fireplace, and it's going to be really a cool show. So
Yeah.
you'll want to make sure that you tune in.
For sure.
I'm Don Smith,
And I'm Bill Cartwright.
and what's happening,
Miami
Miami
County.
County.